What's up guys, Ivan Carranza here, and today we're gonna talk about note duration or note length. And this is something that I've been working on for the last couple of years. And I became more aware of the length or the duration of the notes I was playing when I started to play in a reggae band. Because the music, and I don't want you to misunderstand what I'm about to say, but the music is pretty simple. There's not a lot of elements going on, There's not a thousand layers happening at the same time. It's pretty much drums, bass, and keyboards or guitars, but playing pretty minimal stuff, right? So as a bass player, you get a lot of freedom in the way that the placement of your notes and the duration of your notes have a very big impact on how the groove sounds. So that's when I became aware that my note duration was kind of off. I was cutting notes too short, and that is something that happens more often than not, that people cut the notes too short. So if you are supposed to play a quarter note, they cut it a bit before the next quarter note comes, and that can definitely break a groove. Even if you're playing the right notes, in the right timing, and you're locking in with the kick drum, you're locking in with the snare, but if your notes are too short, it's not gonna have the same effect. Of course, it depends on what kind of groove you're playing, but being aware of the note value that you're supposed to play, that fits the groove that you're playing, is definitely priceless. So let me demonstrate real quick how you can practice that. And a great way to do this is start just with quarter notes, like I mentioned before. And you can either turn on a metronome, or for example, I'm gonna use a snare drum right now because that's what we use in real life, for example. So you're supposed to play on the 1 and 3, and then cut the note right before the snare comes. So let me show that. Now I'm gonna cut it a bit short. Now longer. You could hear how what I was playing had an effect also on what the snare was playing, or how you perceived what the snare was playing. And by starting with quarter notes, it's a very simple approach to practice this, because you just have to focus on cutting the note right before the next downbeat. You can then, for example, focus on just playing eighth notes, so 1/8 note per beat. Instead of there's definitely a difference if I play the note too short, or if I play the full value of the note, if I play the full 8th note. Once you become more comfortable playing simple rhythmic values such as quarter and 8th notes, you can then take, for example, bass lines or songs or grooves that you already know, and then analyze them and check how you're currently playing them, and maybe try to find spots where you could, for example, stretch notes a little bit, or where you're playing too long. That also happens, if you're supposed to play really like 8th notes, but you're holding down the note for a full quarter note, maybe you need to cut it a bit shorter. So be aware of how you play the notes and how long you're letting them ring, because that also has an effect on how the other instruments are gonna sound. And I'm gonna cover that in another video, but you could already hear a little bit what I did here with the snare. I hope you guys find this helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the content that's coming to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.